Hi, I'm Kathryn Bruner, owner of KBR, and today I'm going to talk to you about real estate. So I've put together a few questions that I'm commonly asked in the real estate industry that I wanted to share with you today. So a big question I get asked is, what is the difference between residential and commercial real estate, and why does it matter? So big difference between residential and commercial obviously is the zoning, but as a buyer or seller in this industry, some very important things you need to know are there are two very different types of real estate agents. Now, you might find a real estate agent in a rare occasion that is qualified to do both residential and commercial. But the best way for you to determine whether or not this real estate agent has those capabilities is to ask a few questions. So the kinds of questions you want to ask to make sure that whoever's representing your asset is representing it in the right category are things like, for residential, a residential real estate agent is going to work for a residential specific firm. They're going to have training in the residential realm. They're going to have references and resources that are residential specific. And the way you can identify that is to ask them what they're a member of. They should be a member of what's called MLS. MLS is where residential listings need to go. So commercial realtors usually work specifically for a commercial firm. They're trained in commercial real estate, and then they're members of what's called the database. So if you were to have a commercial asset, and then you were to work with a residential realtor and put your commercial asset in MLS, the people that are looking at MLS listings are looking for residential homes, and so you're not going to be able to sell it to the market that you're looking for. The other aspect of that as well, of why it's important to make sure you have the right type of realtor representing your asset, is because there's so many differences between residential and commercial. Not just the zoning, but the contracts, the time frame. For a residential purchase, that property is probably going to sell in 30 to 45 days. Where on the commercial aspect, it might take up to a year. So making sure that your time is being leveraged appropriately and that you're being advised in the best way possible to be able to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time is really important. So make sure you have the right realtor representing you. So the next question I have is, what if I want to buy land, but I don't want to spend all my cash on it? So in North Carolina, you have a lot of people that love to buy hunting land, but a lot of time that's residential land and you have to pay cash for that type of purchase. There are other options that a lot of people don't know about. So for buying hunting land, as my example, let's say that you go to a lender and they tell you no. You have options of working with the Farm Bureau, and the Farm Bureau can give you what's called an agricultural loan. And the way you can qualify for an agricultural loan is if you are growing crops on your property, or if you have livestock on your property like horses or cows or something of that nature. The Farm Bureau won't necessarily pay 100% of your purchase, but they might pay up to 45%, which could save you a lot of money. The other option for not having to come completely out of pocket for purchasing land is what's called a construction loan. And this is a great conversation to have with your mortgage lender when you're looking at buying property, because maybe the perfect home you're looking for isn't out there and you want to build yourself. So if you go to purchase land and you use a construction loan, a lot of times your lender can work with a builder to get the builder to purchase the land, quote you on what the price of building the home is going to be, and then roll the entire purchase into a mortgage. So you're not having to come out of pocket for the entire land and then come out of pocket for a secondary mortgage. So keep those things in mind the next time you go to buy land. Next question, is zoning permanent? So yes and no. If you are in a historic district looking to purchase property, the zoning in that area is most likely permanent and you're not going to change it. However, in different areas, it's not permanent. So if you're looking to buy a commercial building and you see something extremely affordable in a residential area, make sure you talk to your real estate agent to see if there's a possibility to change that zoning, figure out what your local regulations are. A lot of the time, it's as simple as just filing the appropriate paperwork. So don't completely rule out the zoning aspect of a property when you're making a purchase, because sometimes it can change. So our next question is, what are examples of different types of real estate? Really great examples of that would be in residential, you can buy short-term rental for vacation rentals, long-term rentals, investing, flipping, things of that nature. But what's really important to know when you're purchasing a property, whether it's for investment or for primary residence, is making sure that when you're making this purchase and you're going into it, that you have a plan, that you've done your research, and that you have the right people representing you. Because let's say that you're making your very first real estate investment and you're going to flip a house. Well, your taxes on that for your first investment are going to be very different if you, let's say, do 3 in a year, because at that point it might be considered a business and then you have to worry about self-employment tax. So these are conversations to have with your realtor, who will probably refer you to your CPA and your attorney. And so when you're getting to this stage of wanting to invest in real estate, make sure you're asking a lot of questions and doing a lot of research ahead of time, because all that's going to do is protect your investment and save you money. So again, I'm Kathryn Bruner, owner of KBR. And if you want to reach out to me in the future, feel free to email me or contact me on Instagram.